Hello, Patrick Henry. This is Laura. I was hoping to be here today to go over some of this with you guys in person, but unfortunately, or fortunately, I have to go to Elmont today to do some laptop distribution for the elementary school teachers. But I wanted to make sure I got this information out to you because pretty soon parents are going to be in Schoology and they're going to be a pretty good judge of what is or is not being done in Schoology. So I just wanted to offer some reminders. So first of all, I'm in my Schoology account right now. If I click on my test class, I want to really quickly review what Hanover County's minimum expectations are in Schoology. The first is that you will use the assignment or event tool to post all assignments. This includes tests, quizzes, projects, classwork, and all homework. Anything that is entered for a grade in PowerSchool should also have an assignment associated with it in Schoology. You are expected to provide a link to your course syllabus, put any relevant student resources, notes, PowerPoints, videos, things like that, and to create an organizational structure that works for you and your students. Remember, your students have 6 to 8 of these classes, or sometimes even more. So the easier we can make it for them and their parents, the better Schoology will be for everybody. So first of all, if I click back on my courses, uh, I want you to show you that the default is that the courses appear with this blue square right here. And when your students and eventually parents are looking at a block of 6 to 8 blue squares, it can be kind of confusing. But as you can see, all of the other courses have different pictures, which makes it a little easier to find what we're looking for. And it's very easy to do. If I click on my test class, and then I see this blue square up on the top. If I mouse over it, a little link comes up that says Edit Picture. If I click that, I can upload one of the defaults, which they're pretty nice ones, or I can upload any file I have attached to my computer. So I'm going to upload this, and there we go. Now my course has a picture. It's not a great one, but it has one. So I wanted to show you that. Additionally, I wanted to show you some different ways that teachers are organizing their courses. Myself and the admin in the building have the ability to search for your courses and to see what is going on there. So I'm going to just pull up a couple that I found that were doing a really good job. So if I click on Ms. Shelton's class, I can see that she's organized her class in folders, which is really helpful. They have nice clear headings. They have descriptions of what's in the folders. If I click on her 2-week agendas, I can see here she's listing week by week what she's doing in her classes. She has posted upcoming assignments over here. She's doing a really good job organizing this class. It's very easy for students and teachers to figure out what is going on in her class. Another one I saw that is doing a good job is Mr. Kellner. If I click on his, type in his name and click on one of his courses, you can see another way that he has organized things. He has his syllabus, a rubric, and then Unit 1. And then if I open that, he has it broken down by month and then week. And then within that week, he has posted, links to assignments or what's going on, back to school questions and that sort of stuff. That's just a different way to organize things. Actually, I'm going to show you two more good ones that I found. Mr. Horowitz. If I search for him and I click on this one, for example, you can see here he has projects, he has assignments, resources, documents, participation. You can see he has some upcoming assignments posted. So that's just another way to organize things. I myself am a parent of a middle schooler at Stonewall, and she is using Schoology there. And one of her teachers is doing a really good job. So I'm going to log in as my daughter really quickly, just to show you how one of her teachers has organized things and is posting assignments. So if I go to my daughter's courses, you can see some of them are still blue squares, some of them have headings, which make them really stand out. One thing I like that they're doing is in their course picture, they're putting the block, which makes it really easy for the kids to find out what course they're in. So I'm going to go to her history course. This is Miss Larimer. And if I look, you can see she has welcome info. Where in here she has a syllabus, the password cheat sheet, all kinds of stuff. For homework, she's organizing it by month. And then this is what she's posting. This is all of the assignments that are due for this day, September 4th or 5th. She has a link to the syllabus because that's what they had to get signed. And so even though she's doing more than one graded assignment in class, she's only posting one thing to Schoology. So here, for example, here's she's talking about a quiz. Here's the study guide linked right there. So my daughter or myself as a parent can click that link and see exactly what's on there. Here's a link to the continents and oceans map, all right there for her. So this one is really well organized. She has helpful websites, class assignments. If I were to click the calendar, this is what my daughter would see. She would see that here's her homework for that was passed out on the 5th and the 6th, the 10th and the 11th. So she could click those links and see exactly, oh, they don't have any homework that day, or if they click this one, here's what they need to do, which is really nice. So we just want to think about how we're organizing things and how we can make things really easy for both our students and our parents when they eventually get in Schoology. So I'm going to log out as my daughter and log back in as myself. Don't tell her I logged in as her. Okay, so a couple other things I wanted to talk about. When you are creating an assignment, there's a couple different ways you can do it. So I'm going to click on my courses. I'm going to come down here to my Cooper test class, and then I'm going to go to add materials. I'm going to click add assignment. Here's one thing I wanted to point out. When I used to use Blackboard, I would make an announcement. And in my announcement, I would include, this is what we did in class today, and I would attach any links, and there we go. Schoology has the power to make announcements, but they call them updates. Updates are great, but they're not associated with a date, so they do not show up in the student's calendar, and they do not show up under their list of upcoming assignments. So an update might be, hey, we're going outside on Friday, make sure you wear closed-toed shoes, or field trip money is due, that sort of stuff. But when you're posting an assignment, you want to make sure that you are going to add materials, add assignment. Once it comes up, there's a few things you have to do. You have to give it a title. So I'm going to call this homework. I think it's good to give it a little heading like that so that your kids know, is this a test? Is this a quiz? So I'm going to say this is homework, and we're going to say read and answer questions. I can then give them more information, like read page 123, questions numbered 1 to 3, doesn't matter. Okay. And I'm just going to do a straightforward assignment where I'm not attaching anything else to it right now. For it to show up in their list of upcoming assignments and on their calendar, you have to include a due date. And this is the day that the assignment is due. So I'm going to click due date. I'm going to say, okay, this is going to be due on Friday. And then I have to give it a category. Most likely, what you are going to be selecting is ungraded. And this does not mean that you are not grading the assignment. This means that you are not grading this assignment inside Schoology. You're going to grade it with a pen or a pencil by hand and enter it into PowerSchool. Students do not see that this is ungraded. They don't see that. Another thing I wanted to point out is this button right here, Submissions Enabled. Schoology is really designed for a one-to-one environment, and we're not there yet. We are not in the position where most of our students are turning everything in digitally. We are still doing things on paper, hand grading it, and putting it in PowerSchool. But Schoology expects students to turn things in digitally. So the default is that submissions are enabled. We want to, in most circumstances, turn that off. Because now what this means is my students are going to hand this in by paper, and I'm going to grade it and put it in my grade book. If I were to leave this on, Schoology is going to mark this assignment late, which doesn't really matter until parents get in there and then see all of these overdue assignments and start sending you emails and wondering why all these assignments are overdue when they're really not. So you just want to make sure that you turn that off, and then you're going to click Create. As soon as you do that, the assignment shows up here, it shows up on upcoming, and it shows up on the calendar, which is really convenient. Now, let's say I have more than one block of this class. I don't want to go through and put this assignment in 6 times. So what I can do is I can come over here to my gear, and I can click Copy to Course. And then I could copy it to all of my other blocks at the same time. And look what's even better. Let's say that this is an A-day class and my laptop training is a B-day class. Well, guess what? I can change the date right here, the due date. I click copy and bam, 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 it goes out to all of my classes at the same time with the correct dates, which is a really nice feature that both Blackboard and Google Classroom didn't have. Now, let's say I wanted to attach a Word document. I start out the same way. I go to Add Materials, Add Assignment. This one is going to be Study Guide. And I could say Chapter 1 if I wanted to give more information. All right, type something in here if I wanted to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and I'm going to click this button right here that says File. And then I can find, we'll do this. Here's a Word document. I can click Open, and now this Word document is attached to my homework assignment. So it would be really convenient if you already have this study guide digitally, if you also attach it to your assignment. That's why when our kids are at home or kids are absent, they have access to the same information as everybody else. Then again, you give it a due date. Actually, let me make it a different day so it shows up on the calendar. I'm not grading this in Schoology, so I'm going to choose ungraded. And I'm not expecting my kids to turn in anything digitally, so I'm going to turn this feature off. Now I can copy it to all of my other courses right here. I can click copy, pick my other courses, which I don't want to do that, but I could pick any of my other courses. I could change the date, whatever it is I wanted to do. And then when I'm ready, I just click create. And just like that, it shows up here. It shows up in their upcoming assignments, and it also shows up in their calendar. So now if they were to click that study guide, they could see, oh, look, here's my fake study guide. I can now study for my test, which is really nice too. All right, a lot of you have asked, how do I attach a Google Doc? And it is kind of confusing. So let me go through that as well. You're going to go to Add Materials, Add Assignment, and then you're going to give it a name. So let's say, I don't know, Homework Worksheet. Okay, I can give it directions, whatever. Instead of going here where it says Add File, I'm going to go up here where I have this little Insert Content button. I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to select my Google Drive Resource app. You can see I could also assign a YouTube video right here if I wanted to. But I'm going to go to my Google Drive Resource app. It's going to open my real Google Drive. And once it comes up, I'm going to pick an assignment. Let's see. I got to open a folder. All right, let me just open this folder real quick. Okay, so all right, here's a document. So I checked the little box right there saying that this is the document I want to add to my Schoology. Then if I unclick it real quick, this box up here that said import goes away. When I click it, that box reappears. And then I have some choices. I can import this as a link, which means that my students are going to open the assignment, they're going to click the link, leave Schoology, and go to my Google document. Or I can import embed, which is my preferred way to do it. Ignore private link altogether. I'm going to import embed because this is where it shows up inside Schoology, and they don't actually have to leave to go anywhere and look at it. Now, let's say I also wanted to include a YouTube video. I'm going to be really fancy today. I can click Insert Content. I can go straight to YouTube. I can search for anything I want, but today I'm going to search for dogs. All right, here's a YouTube video. Again, as soon as I click it, that box right there that says import appears. Click import. I can click import as embed. And now it's going to look like I did something wrong because I'm just going to see two orange boxes. One is my assignment and the other one is the YouTube video, but you didn't do it wrong. Okay. Again, I'm going to give it a due date. I'm not grading this in Schoology, so I'm going to choose ungraded. And I'm not expecting my students to turn anything in on this worksheet. This is the same worksheet I gave them in class. They filled it out with pen and paper. I'm just attaching it so that if they wanted to access it home or they lost it or whatever, they can access the document. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to copy it to all of my other courses at the same time, and then I'm going to click Create. And let me show you what this looks like. Here is my assignment I just added, just so you know. It shows up right here. It shows up on their calendar. There it is. If I click this assignment, look how fancy this looks. Here is my YouTube video about dogs. The students can watch it right there inside Schoology. And here is my Google Doc that I attached, which the students can read right there. They don't need to go anywhere to look at it. They can't edit it. It's view only. But this is how you could attach a PowerPoint, and they could literally click through your PowerPoint right there in Schoology without having to leave Schoology to go look at anything. So that's a really nice feature too. Um, Sometimes, though, you want students to edit a Google Doc. You want them to turn something in online. So what I would do is I would do the same thing, add materials, add assignment. And instead of going up here and choosing insert content, I'm going to choose Google Drive assignments. And then this is going to allow students to type straight into your Google Drive document, whatever it may be. When they're finished with it, they'll hit submit. And so that is one way to get them to turn things in digitally. If I just want them to look at a Google Drive document, I'm going to choose the Google Drive resource app over here. I'm going to cancel that. Another thing I wanted to show you, let me go into one of my classes that I'm building, and we'll learn more about Tech Takeout a little bit later, is the way that I've organized my folders. So as you can see, they're color-coded just because I liked colors. I added an icon just to kind of make them stand out. But I think this feature right here where I wrote this folder contains is really helpful. Because remember, your kids have 6 to 8 or more of these classes. The parents do too. And if we could avoid them having to click from course to course or folder to folder to find what they're looking for, Schoology is going to be even better. So if you say this folder contains, the students know exactly what is inside each folder. Parents know what is exactly inside each folder, and they're not having to click around. And that's really easy to do. Let me go back to the one that I was building over here. So I'm going to go to Add Materials, Add Folder. I'm going to call this one Assignments. I can give it a color. If I wanted to insert a picture, I just go here, Insert Image. It's got to be one I've saved to my computer. I can give it a date so it shows up and it disappears on certain dates if I wanted to. But I'm going to say this folder contains, and maybe I say first 9 weeks assignments. If I could type. And then I click Create. So now, instead of having this long list of assignments that can be a little tedious to scroll down, now I've created a folder. And I can just take the assignments that I've made, and it is a little fidgety, but I can drop them inside my folder. It's not the easiest thing to do. There we go. Another way that's a little less fidgety is if you just come over here and you click Move. You can say, okay, I want this to go to my assignments folder, and it will move it for you, which is really nice. So I'm going to do that for this one too. And now I've started to organize things. I just don't have this long list of assignments, but now I have a folder. I know exactly what's in it. And if I open my folder, here are my assignments in chronological order, oldest to newest. I go back, here are my upcoming assignments. If I click on the calendar, I can see the assignments that are posted for that class. Now, let's say it snows on September 26th, or I just didn't get as far as I thought I was going to get. If I go to the calendar right here, I can pick up that assignment and I can actually move it to the next date. And then Schoology is not like Google, you have to refresh. But if I refresh, you can see that now it says it's due Friday, September 28th. So it automatically updates it for you. I am more than happy to go over anything Schoology related with you. I can meet with you as a department. I can meet with you one-on-one. Whatever you need me to do, I am here for you. Just send me an email or come by my office and let me know. I am happy to help out so we can all be using Schoology effectively. I just wanted to do a little review before parents get in there and before administrators get in there and start checking to see if we're following the school's minimum expectations. So as I said, if you have any questions, shoot me an email, come by my office. I'm more than happy to help. Thank you.